handle right by your seat. You guys want to grab those handles on the outside of the boat? We're just going to kind of split these two rafts and go ahead and go into the water.
On the side, bro.
There it is. Right, we're just kind of squeeze in to the right a little bit, wherever we can, and just walk right into the river.
Mess around, you end up in that river.
All right, you guys can put the boat down. I got it. Right, you guys go ahead and hop into your seats. All right, so for now, you guys just leave your paddles in the middle. You don't need them for a second. I'm gonna come up here. All right. Right, so you guys leave the paddles in the middle for right now. You don't need them for a second. Right, so just put the paddles in the middle. All right, so guys, today is all about meeting my expectations, right? You think it's a good thing to exceed my expectations?
Yeah.
Oh, you think so, right?
No.
But if I ask for 5 paddles forward and you guys give me 10, well, we're probably gonna hit a rock, right? So it's all about just meeting my expectations. Make sense? Right? That's good. We'll have a good day. If we do that. No matter what, I'll have a great day. Right? You guys raise up that inside hand for me. Grab that person's shoulder strap in front of you. You guys grab right here. Grab that person's shoulder strap, and he's next to you, so in front of you. Yep. There we go. Right, so when we paddle, guys, we're gonna use that whole body. So that means we gotta lean forward and come back. And forward and come back. You guys see how that boat's rocking nice and smooth. You guys are all on the same page. We're leaning back and forth. Now my right and left side got a little off. Right? You feel that? All right, and stop. Right, what's your name, my man? Luke and Ralph. So Luke and Ralph, right? If you guys feel that boat kind of, what I call twerking, you guys kind of look at each other. Maybe you're just like a millisecond off. Does that make sense? There you go, bud. You can hold that. You guys can grab those paddles now and go ahead and sit in what we call that sit ready position, right? That sit ready position. You're in that, you're on the outside tube, you're braced, ready to go. Just like if we were in a big old rapid. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna get it kind of out of this little
So am I in the right position?
tree area. Yeah, so you want to sit a little bit more on that outside tube, scooch forward a little bit more, right? And you guys are gonna, yeah, all the way on that outside tube, my man. Right, and then you guys can brace with those feet. Right, today paddling is what keeps you in the boat, believe it or not. That's your third part of your brace. Does that make sense, guys? Yep. Right, that paddle, that wider the stance, the better it is, right? So let's see how good you guys are at paddling, right? So in a second, I'm gonna say forward. You guys all kind of just, yeah, Jacob, hold on to that T-grip, my man. That T-grip right there, bud. There you go. Yeah, let's put, if you can push off that, Jacob, that would be awesome. There we go. All right, right, so whenever I say forward, we're gonna lean forward and back just like we were just doing. See how good you guys are, right? Remember, all together. So let's go forward. Use that whole body. And stop. Cool. Right, that's pretty good, right? But you guys want to make sure you're using that whole body. We want to speed that pace up just a little bit. Can you do that for me, Ralph?
Yes.
All right, let's go forward. And stop. Perfect. That's a great pace, Ralph. Right, making sure you guys get that whole paddle blade in the water. That significantly helps, right? The better you guys paddle, the less you have to paddle. That makes your day a lot easier. Does that make sense? Right? Oh. Right, guys, sometimes I might just ask for, 3 paddle strokes forward, right? So I might go 3 forward. That means that everybody give me 3 paddles. Don't just, volunteer 3 people to paddle. Does that make sense?
Now, one way.
Right? So hold on 1 second.
About like what's getting ready to happen is if you pay attention.
Let's go 3 forward.
You can see how it's on.
Jacob, you want to hold on to that T-grip, my man. Right? Yeah, just like that. That's the best way to paddle. And it's close to my face, so I don't want it to hit me in the face. Make sense?
You're hitting up a little bit too, Jacob.
What?
You're right there. There you go.
All right, let's go 3 forward. Oh, you guys already know how to paddle, and I love it. Perfect. Right, so guys, how today's gonna work? Gonna have some calmer water, a jump rock, and then 2 class 3s before we hit lunch. We'll eat lunch, then we'll go down to the gorge and really hit that bigger stuff and try to keep lunch down. Sound good?
What's the highest class?
5.
got 4s over here, right?
Yeah, bunch of 3s, bunch of 4s, and 2 5s.
What did we flip on? What was that? It was something stupid. It was like a flag.
You guys been rafting before?
Yeah.
Where at?
Actually, not far from here. Where was it?
Let's go 3 forward. 3 forward for me. So, but it was near here, but not here?
Yeah.
Ace Adventures. I mean, Adventures on the Gorge.
Okay, so hey, same river. They still do this river.
Yep.
Right, so you guys were on this river though?
Yeah.
Cool.
We was on a small one.
Right.
That's why we didn't want to go with them because they already flipped it. So
Oh,
we were a little
yeah.
hesitant about
That's a
coming
bad
with them.
luck.
Yeah, well, welcome to Ace where we keep you
the
upright.
group we were with.
Oh. Always blaming the people.
Yeah.
Sometimes guides just don't know what they're doing either. Don't let them fool you though. You know how a guide's lying? They're talking. Right? Where you guys from?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Sweet, you guys are getting a good football team hopefully this year. Or at least have a quarterback.
You talking about the high school team, or you talking about a?
Yeah, no, yeah, right?
Yeah, we don't have any.
AC Reynolds or something?
Yeah, we don't have any professionals.
Yeah, Ohio's really lacking in that.
You do. That's why I'm not a Bengals fan.
That's fair, that's fair. So we got Luke and Ralph and Jacob.
Yep.
What's your name?
I'm Bernie.
Man? Bernie?
Yep.
I just watched Weekend at Bernie, so that's great.
That's how you got to remember.
That's
me.
easy, right?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Callie.
Callie
Ryan.
and Ryan. Cool, so we got Callie, Bernie, Ryan, Jacob, not Jack. Jacob, Luke, and Ralph.
Yep.
Sweet. Easy peasy. Right, what's my name?
Basil.
There it is.
Basil.
Right. Basil.
Got it.
Yep, just like that spice in your cabinet.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Weekend at Bernie's and Basil.
Right, we got Wreck-It Ralph over there.
That we do. So Kelly, who you with?
My mom's up.
Which one?
Kimberly.
Oh, okay.
Kimberly.
Yeah, so you guys are all kind of one crew? Like one group?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you guys all know each other?
Just friends from a long time. Just we're all camping actually, up on top of the hill.
Okay, cool.
So we got what, 5 campers.
Right.
And we decided to rough it at the Holiday Inn.
Right. Little
It was
less,
tough, but somebody had to do it.
little easier trip. I don't know, I think I'd rather camp though. I love camping.
It's fun getting up that hill.
Oh yeah. Definitely you're up at the top of the mountain. That's where we all the guys live up at the top as well. Not like as far up as you guys.
Oh, okay.
But, right, if you guys, when you go up that hill, when it turns back into gravel, you see all those blue buses?
Yep.
Right, we live behind those blue buses.
Okay.
That's where all that guide housing is.
So how long do you run your season through when?
So we're here until really early or mid-May, early May.
Okay.
Well, mid-April, early May, to the end of October.
Okay.
Right, so we get a real solid season out here. The nice part is you guys have probably seen all those signs that say Golly season.
Yep.
Something like that, right? That's just a different river. You guys know about the Golly?
Yep.
Yeah, so right, that's why we're all here. That's really what, the new is until next weekend. And then we're all here for the Golly. Right, I love the new and it's a blast, but I get the new all summer. So those 21 days that the Golly decides to run, we're gonna have a good old time.
We did the Gully the first, this goes back 30 years ago. We did the Gully the first time well, we did Pennsylvania first, and then we did Gully, didn't we? Yeah. Yogahaney in Pennsylvania.
Oh, the Yakagani.
And then we did the...
Did you do it in PA?
Gully.
So you did the lower
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, you go to Maryland, you do the upper yacht.
Yeah, I heard they're up.
That is
out of control.
It is legitimately crazy, right? You only got like 3 people in your boat. They're teaching you how to move the boat laterally, right? We call it a draw stroke. It's what guides use, right? So I'm pulling this way to pull the boat, to spin it, or pushing this way.
Yeah.
And they'll teach people draw strokes. You go, right draw! And the right side literally pulls and it'll
Wow.
move the boat because you're in a tiny, like 8.5 foot, 10 foot boat with 3 people. And it's the biggest creek you could possibly run in a raft.
Wow.
Or the smallest creek you could possibly run in a raft.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's a good old time down there. Up there. Yeah. Jacob, if you don't mind just scooching forward a little bit for me, man. That'd be awesome, yeah. Hopefully that sun decides to show up too.
I know, right?
It's supposed to be pretty decent today.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see the sun again. It's been raining a lot.
Oh, has it?
Not complaining though, because we got a bunch of good water. I kayak too, so we've had a bunch of good creeks running the past couple days.
Oh wow.
So we've like, it just rained last week and just kind of like got everything soaked. So now every time it rains, it's just like boom, there's there's the river. Right, the watershed takes a long time to dry out up here, but once it's wet, you're just like cool. Like it's just preloaded, it's set, ready to go for us.
I think you're supposed to get a whole good week of weather almost this week, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
You kind of want a little bit of...
I want it to become drier because right now the upper Golly is really, really high. Like
wow.
really, really, really high. So like Golly, we might not be able to run the upper Golly. Like we're not running the upper Golly today. Like it's way too high, right? But that's like, we have like a summer Golly trip going out, but next weekend they'll start kind of like dialing it back. But we want a specific water level, and getting high water up there is pretty terrifying. You're like, it's one of those days where you tell your guests like, hey, you guys been out on the Golly before? You've never been out of high water? You guys probably swam so many different places if you've been here, but we're gonna try to keep you in boat all day. Like if you stay in the boat, like that's the most fun day you can have.
When we went up there, or to the Golly, we had they were just letting water out. Remember, it was high,
And they still put in like right where the tubes are.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And then a kayaker that was killed a couple days before that, they were borderline letting us go out.
Things
Of course,
happen.
the guy that we went down with, he said, "Well, this is the first time I took a guided group down." I said, he was fantastic too. He was.
Hey man, right? Like we check. It's a serious game up there. We don't check people out that don't know what they're doing up there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty funny. You really figure it out like before the first class 5 whether or not, right? Like I've been a checkout guide up there too, and just been in the seat wearing customer gear, right? Just nonchalantly being there in case anything happens. I have to try to convince the entire crew that I know what I'm doing, right? Because I enjoy just being, knowing that the guests are just like, oh, it's just like a single rider. Cool. They're just having fun. They've just been out here a lot, so they know the river, you know? Let's go 3 forward for me, guys. Right, but you figure it out really quickly whether or not that person is prepared for the rest of the day. And if they're not, you just take the stick. You're like, hey man, like, sorry, you're not ready. Yeah. Like, you do not know this river well enough. Because we make people, you have to have at least 40 commercially rafted like trips where a guide is legally has to be in a boat.
Okay.
Right, not certified, but you have to do 40 commercial trips, can't be play trips, right? 40 commercial trips on something that a guide is legally like obliged to be in a boat. Okay. Right, so like there's a couple, like the lower Yacht, I think you can do a self-guided trip. It's pretty chill.
That's what we did, yeah.
Right, yeah, right. So that run doesn't count. Okay. Right. So like the lower New counts, the lower Golly counts, the Ocoee, things like that. A bunch of rivers up in Maine count. Right, like the upper New technically doesn't count because it's not a big enough section of river.
Oh, really?
And you don't necessarily need a guide. Okay. Right. We don't rent, like it's just such a long trip, and we don't rent guides or boats out like that. But it doesn't count as a trip. You're not really on Whitewater at that point. Got it.
I didn't realize that, huh?
Yeah. Let's go 5 forward. Oh, perfect. You guys are all together, all 5 of them. I love it. Yeah, so right, we get people that come in all the time from different places, Colorado, California, Maine, Tennessee, right? They come here just for Golly season. But the nice part about working here all season is that, like, my managers know me, and I get more work than everybody else. Wow. You know, those people show up, and we don't necessarily know them. They don't really know the river as well. So on that Sunday and Monday when it's not as busy, right? The people that have been working there on tails off kind of get rewarded and get those good trips that everybody wants.
Oh, that's great.
Right, those marathon trips, those double upper trips. Oh, yeah. It's a good old time.
Is that just like a 1?
What's up? That's just a little class 2. Okay. Remind me your name again?
Callie.
Callie. I almost said Kaylee, and I was like, that's not right. It's close, but I know it's not right.
So how do you spell that? K?
C-A-L-L.
Okay.
C-A-L-L-I.
Got it.
Yeah, so Callie, kind of how it works. Right, it's class 1 through 5, like commercially, that's the only thing we raft. 1 is kind of just like some moving whitewater. you get to class 2s, you gotta have these waves, maybe some rocks and things that you can dodge. But there's really not many hazards, right? There's really not many rocks that you don't want to be near, some hydraulics or holes, some waves that might pop people out of the boat, right? It's just kind of some small stuff, real family friendly. You get to class 3s, and class 3s are kind of, you either have a hazard or you have, you know, maybe a spot where somebody may possibly fall out of the boat, right? So our first class 3 today is called Surprise. It's just a fun wave train today, right? But there's nothing behind it, right? So it's a big, fun wave train. Sometimes there's a meaty hit, but there's a big old pool behind it, right? So there's nothing really you have to worry about if there's anybody swimming. Then we'll get to our first class 4. And those class 4s, maybe you have a big old hit that someone can fall out of. And maybe you want somebody to swim to the left because there's rocks in the middle and on the right. And so like that's a pretty ouch town, you know, if you're swimming, right? There's still a good place to swim, right? You can still get away from it, have a good ride down if you're in the water, if you're in the right spot. Then you have class 5s when that hazard becomes very, very hazardous. And there's a specific line you need to take, right? And maybe there's multiple hazards or something like that, right? So our first class 5 today is kind of this big water, three different, like they're all one rapid, but kind of 3 different sections of that rapid. Got it. Let's go 3 forward for me, guys. Right, so the second class 3, or the second class 5 we'll do today won't feel like the biggest rapid either, right? They're very different rapids. Like some class 5s are for their hazards, some class 5s are for the waves, plus the hazards. But really that second class 5, you'll be like, what? That was a 5? But it's all about, you know, there's some crap under the water you don't necessarily want to be near.
What's the thing we used to do? What do they call that? Hydraulics? Or you
Yeah,
get
surfing?
You get like in within a...
Yeah, no, you surf in the
hydraulic.
hydraulic, right? Yeah, we call it surfing. Okay. So you kind of come back into that hydraulic, hang out, the boat bucks, fills up with water a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, right, it's a little bit high water for that. There won't really be any surfing spots today.
And the boat's kind of stays in there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Right, because all that water in the hydraulic on the top is actually moving back upstream.
Okay.
Right, so it wants to suck it in, and it kind of moves in like a washing machine motion.
Got it.
Some surfs are side surfs, so like you get the side of the boat in. Sometimes they're just nose surfs, all right? You got the nose in, the back's out of the boat, and you're just kind of holding it straight, and there's just a huge flume of water just splashing everybody in the face.
Got it.